Daniel with the voice of college football Notre Dame with the recruiting update for the Irish. We're going to look at the class of 2027, look at the current commits coming in, and cannot wait to get into it. Notre Dame's been bringing in some great talent, some blue chip talent the past 3-4 years, and it's been pretty great to see, and they're definitely keeping that trend going with this current class. Currently ranked number 5th according to 247 and number 10 according to Rivals. But we'll be able to, be the judge of that. The eye in the sky don't lie. You can be the judge of that. We're going to look at some film and just look at all of the current commits because the sparks have been flying across the nation, but specifically in South Bend here as of late. Especially, we're even in the middle of May, and they've already got multiple recruits. So I can't wait to get into it. Let's go ahead and do that. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and go in order. We got James Halter, offensive tackle, big body here out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A lot of talent out of the Northeast this year, out of PA, out of New Jersey. We got a PA commit and New Jersey, but a lot of blue chip guys are from this area, and they're going all across the nation. So it's pretty good to see. We got the Georgias, we got the Floridas, the Calis, the Texas, but PA and New Jersey, man, they're churning them out just as well, as well as Ohio, which we'll get into. But James Halter is the first one here, top-rated recruit for the Irish. 6'5", 270. We'll see if they'll keep him around like the 285. Want to keep him just agile and keep him like a freak, like a gazelle, or if they want to stack some weight on him, they can do either or. Because Notre Dame, offensive line play, that's synonymous with their name. That's what you're usually going to get with the Irish, some great offensive line play up front. But the next one we have here was Xavier Hassan, corner, 5'11", 195, plays a lot bigger. He's from Raleigh, North Carolina. So North Carolina's got some pretty good talent there as well this year. Those bordering states, North Carolina and the Virginia area, a lot of talent around there, man. Aiden O'Neill's the next one from Don Bosco Prep, a factory. We got a couple of guys here just coming from factories, just guys who we've always known to have blue chips, and you can always go to, as a coach, and you're going to find guys. Either it's this Don Bosco, and we can go down the list here and look at St. Thomas Aquinas. Some of their backups get recruited D1. So, but Aiden O'Neill, man, absolute studge, edge there. I think we're going back to the defensive end, maybe term, but edge, whatever, however you like to do it. But either or, he's going to get after the quarterback and he can stop the run. He's very versatile, 6'5", 240, beast, man. Ace Austin as well, corner from Anderson, from Cincy, like we mentioned, Ohio, man. A lot of talent from the Ohio area, especially the Cincy area, but all across Ohio. Obviously, like we said, we got the Floridas, the Californias, the Texas, the Georgias, but man. Cincinnati, they per capita, they have a lot of talent pretty much everywhere. But Ace Austin's along the list there at Anderson, a corner coming in. And man, I know a lot of Irish fans are excited about him. And then Zayden Gamble as well. So they're just loading up the defensive back position here. 2 corners and a safety, amongst their top commits currently. And that's pretty good to see, man. They're wanting to stop the aerial assault. And obviously they've always been known to have a great run game. So Zayden Campbell's going to be able to do that for them. St. Thomas Aquinas, like we said, another just blue chip factory from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And he'll probably be playing a whole lot sooner than later. But Isaiah Rogers, the first running back. Obviously, we've seen, what's been going on in South Bend at the running back position. 2 guys straight to the league this year, and they're trying to keep that blue chip talent rolling because we not only have this back here, but we have another one among the list, so we can keep it going. But the next one here, Lathan Wissington. That is another running back here, 5'11", 194. Both these guys got a lot of weight to them, man. And you're not probably going to add too much. I'm sure, they probably will, and they'll be around the 215 maybe. 210 range for sure. Just all solid, man. Just hard to bring down. And Texas, man, they got the guys out of Waco, Texas. So, Big Lathan will be here coming soon, Irish fans. So don't worry, the running game will be solid, as it will be this year as well. But Amari Irvin, we're just getting these guys from some of the biggest schools. IMG Academy. If you know football, you know IMG. Even if you don't, you probably know IMG. They're that big. But Amari Irvin at linebacker, 6 foot, 220. They're just getting absolute guys that are ready to play. They got the body right now to get on the field. Just got to touch them up, in between the ears. But a lot of these guys are coming from these, blue chip programs, in high school. So not a lot of teaching up. Just got to pretty much teach terminology. And, they're coming from a good coaching background. But the next here commit for the Irish is Titus Hawk, 6'7" tight end. Come on. I think just to be even a D1 tight end, you have to be a freak along like an O-line, tight end, and D end or edge, however you want to call it. You have to be a freak, in my opinion, to be a D1 level, especially, at this level. There's D1, then there's, the Notre Dames and of the world. So, yeah, Titus Hawk's coming in. He flips the bill there, 6'7", 210. It's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool to see. I think Notre Dame's going to be just making title run after title run here. It's looking like, man, these past 3 classes have been crazy. Richie Flanagan as well to keep it rock and rolling. He's coming from Notre Dame Academy High School. I mean, he don't have to buy any too much gear. Out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. I've only been to Wisconsin one time, but I love it, Wisconsin, man. I had the famous cheese curds that they're all hyped up about, and the hype up's real. I tell you that. The hype is definitely real with the cheese curds. But, Richie Flanagan there, D lineman, 6'3", 265, out of Green Bay. But the next one we're getting to, look at this guy's name, Wonderful Champ Mons. If you're familiar with the recruiting world, you probably know about him. Absolute big commit here for the Irish. I'm saying here, probably going to be a future starter for the Irish. He reclassified. So, he reclassified, was going to be in 2028 class, but nope, he is now in the 2027 class. And I think it's pretty good for the Irish, man. I've watched this tape. I'm ranking the top 150 quarterbacks there with Home Squad Sports, and he is among the top, man, rightfully so. So he's getting graded with the best of them, and, rightfully so. He's a dog. So, all right, we're going to get into the next list here of Keep It Rocking and Rolling. So we already went over Wonderful Champ Mons. Then the next one here, we'll get into just the next list overall. But, man, Wonderful Champ Mons is just a dog. I think he'll start sooner than later. Plays a lot, bigger than he is. But then we got Jackson Coleman, who's a recent commit as well from Valor Christian out in Colorado. They have a great long list. I mean, Colorado's got a lot of talent. They just had another commit at Valor Christian go to Washington on the O-line and Reese Russell. So, yeah, Valor Christian. Got a lot of guys. Man. Just pop the tape, and it speaks for itself. We'll be able to do that in just a second for 5 of the guys. And then, can't forget the last commit here. Sean Kraft, the long snapper. I mean, 6'4", 215. I mean, it's prototype long snapper if you hear me, but you got to give some love to the long snapper. So shout out, man. And then John Gay is the one we did not go over there, the safety. So long list of the DBs, bro. Long list, and I'm very excited for the Irish. I'm excited. I think they beef up the offensive line as usual, but I mean, it looks like their secondary is going to be huge. And that's pretty much what you got to have these days. I mean, you got guys as big as 6'3", and then they don't have anybody under 5'11", which I still think is a solid size. Some people might not think, but hey, no, I'm telling you, get 5'11", if you can't work with that, then, there's a problem. So as a coach, I can take some 5'11" DBs all day, and they're getting blue-chip guys. So let's go ahead and look at the film. We're going to start, roundabout the top. We are going to go James Halter, Xavier Hassan. Then we're going to go down here, and we're going to get some running back love. We got to get some running back love, and we will look at some Rogers film, and then we're going to look at Champ Mons. So let's get into it. All right, so the first one here, big season here. All these guys are coming up for their senior year, trying to make runs at the state title, stay healthy, and usually, I mean, you got to early enroll, man. They got Big Halter here making a way for his running back, just paving the lane. What you got to do, and be versatile, because if you're making it to the next level after college, you have to pretty much play almost all 5 positions. And looks like in Notre Dame they don't recruit anyone that can at least play, I'd say, a couple, 2 to 3 on the offensive line. And looks like Halter's going to be able to do that for them. So it's going to be solid, man. I'm really excited. I think C.J. Carey's going to make a Heisman run. You got Champ Mons right behind him. So I think a lot of these guys are, these programs, they have the luxury of, yes, you can go, transfer portal, you can go dip and get some guys, but you also have the resources to plan for about 3 to 4 years ahead of time if you do it right. Looks like they're doing that as well. There are a few teams around, that are turning a new leaf. I know we're used to Bama, the old Bama with Saban, being, championship runs. But, they as of recent, with DeBoer getting the big 2 commits at quarterback, they're trying to plan for the future, even though they got a lot of guys and talent. So Notre Dame doing the same thing, big programs, some great minds think alike, as you say, and offensive line play, man. Fat guys win championships, and they're trying to beef up the line. That's why their number 1 recruit is A offensive lineman. So let's go into the next one here. Let's look at just some absolute athletes. Xavier Hassan, like we said, the cornerback out of Raleigh, out of here, just making plays. 5'11", 195. Get the ball in his hands, take it yard. And I feel like we get numb to seeing so many long touchdowns with these blue chip recruits, but you can't take it for granted. The athleticism these guys have is insane. So once you get those facilities at that next level, you can always go to just skyrocket. I mean, this guy is floating. Oh my gosh, yeah, Xavier Hassan, dude. You only need 2 minutes of clips of these guys. I mean, just absolute dog. Playing a lot, off the receiver, still giving him cushion, doesn't matter. Just straight athleticism, man. Just a guy that can accelerate, and a guy that can just get up through, as they can say. It's what the players, and it's what we used to say, get up through. But yeah, man, I'm excited for the Irish. Well, I'm very excited for the Irish. I think I can say it till I'm blue in the face. But the championship runs, I think they're going to make one this year, and they're going to do it again. I think they're going to do it again. But that is Xavier Hassan. The next one we're going to get into is Aiden O'Neal. Class 2007, just stud, 6'5", 240 out of Don Bosco Prep. If you've heard of Don Bosco, yes, you probably have, and it is this Don Bosco. Just absolute dogs. Aiden O'Neal, man, edge, borderline pretty much unblockable, at the high school level, and, try to carry that over to the college level just to get bigger, faster, and stronger. And like I said, you have to be an absolute freak. Look at this guy, just gets up under. Doesn't matter, the offensive lineman always has, that little advantage with the snap count. Doesn't matter. Aiden O'Neal has a great jump off the ball, gets through right here, reads the play, not overextending, being disciplined, which just means, having a high IQ. You can be athletic, man. We've seen a lot of fast guys, a lot of strong guys, but if you're not smart in between the ears, if you're constantly making mistakes, coaches, they're only going to put you out there if they trust you, because their future pretty much depends on you, really. But this Aiden O'Neal looks like he's not going to get any coaches fired. He's going to definitely get some coaches some raises. All these guys we're seeing that. But nice inside move here. You like to see a nice versatile, because a lot of guys just go bull rush, and they overpower their high school right tackle. But he's got a wide variety and deep bag of tricks. So it's pretty cool, man. I covered the Senior Bowl the past 2 years. So I've seen a lot of those trenches plays, those one-on-ones, and that's what you have to really be successful. You can't just bull rush, because they anchor pretty quick. So Aiden, man's got some hell of a moves on him, man. So shout out. I know a lot of programs are going to try to flip him, but 4-star, number 9 edge in the nation. Maybe a little underrated, honestly. But all right, the next one here is Isaiah Rogers. Now this, like I said, the Northeast, a lot of talent, like I said, from New Jersey, PA, but we got a guy here from Springfield, Mass. I mean, it's like hockey land, but Isaiah Rogers out here to prove it, man, that he belongs. And I'll tell you right now, he does, because that's why I skipped down the list a little bit. Had to get some running back film in here, especially with Notre Dame being Notre Dame. I mean, look at this guy, man. Just won't get him down. Just got a lot of fight. That's what you have to be. You just can't go down. A lot of guys that can run 4.5s. But are you going to, go down on the first, hit of contact? Are you going to run through tackles? And you have to be high IQ. You got to know what the offensive line's going to do. If you know what they're doing, it makes their job easier. And I think this is against St. X of Ohio, it looks like. Possibly. But either way, man, he's absolutely killing it. So, yeah, Isaiah Rogers, 5'11", 205, 4-star. So a guy out of Mass, and all these recruiting sites, they do take where you play that into account. So for him to be in Massachusetts still keep that 4-star rating, they'll tell you right now. He'll all the worth of the hype, and Lathan Wissington right behind him there. So 5'11", 205 for Rogers, and then Lathan Wissington. I hope I'm not murking his name, or it's Wysington. But either way, 5'11", 194. Both these guys, man, just big bodies. I bet you Lathan walks in over 200 easy. A lot of guys gain weight from that summer going in, if they wait to the summer or if they early enroll. By the time summer rolls around, if he early enrolls, man, just absolute, just pretty much cheat code, a lock. He'll be at 205 probably. I guarantee it. You don't see too many running backs go to college and lose weight. Never. It doesn't matter what size you are. They're going to put some weight on you. But, yeah, man, Isaiah Rogers we're going to see him on the field, I think, sooner than, like we mentioned earlier, Champ Mons. We're going to get into his tape finally. Champ Mons, here he is, the reclassified. It was originally 2028 class, but he can put it anywhere on the field, big body, and he is a ball of clay. He is not a finished product. A lot of these guys aren't. That's a good thing. Doesn't mean they're stuck in their ways. This guy's young, literally. Like, they're all young, but this guy's even, reclassified. He jumped up a grade. So he's probably going to redshirt freshman year, but that's also a good thing as well. You just want a guy who you can develop, and maybe hopefully don't have to worry about leaving and replacing that quarterback room every 6 months. So wonderful Champ Mons, the fourth, out here just diming it up, throwing dots, certified dot thrower, throwing it over the middle. He can throw you outside. Got good pocket presence. Drives off the back foot. A lot of guys that can just get it done with their arm in the high school level, they do that. But his fundamentals are pretty sound, especially with him being so young. And takes a low snap here, puts it in the end zone. He's just got it, man. He's from Vero Beach, I believe. Yeah, Vero. So it's a big commit, man. I know a lot of people thought he was going to go to Ohio State. But nope, he went to Notre Dame. Very good pickup here. Had to highlight the quarterback. He's not their highest recruit, but with him being the reclassified, got to give him some extra love there. I feel like that puts him up a couple notches. So it puts him up a couple notches in my book, especially reclassifying. I mean, these guys are making, money in high school at NIL. So, he's wanting to, ramp it up, and he's, not wanting to be a man amongst boys, at the high school level. He's wanting to get it in early and play with the best of the best. So, got to respect that. Talk about early enrolling. Reclassifying is a whole nother thing, and he'll probably early enroll on top of that. So, pretty cool to see. Obviously, not the first one we've seen do that, but out of this era, it's kind of a little bit more rare, the quarterback position, but pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. I know we've seen Malachi Toney do it last year. So Malachi Toney was supposed to be a high school senior. So Champ Mons is going to do the same thing, man. So that is the Notre Dame class here. That is the top guys here. Just wanted to highlight. We're going to obviously have some more updates throughout the season. But right now, as it stands, the Irish are sitting at the number 5 class according to 247. And they had the number 10 class here with rivals. I will say, with the past 2 commits they just got in the past couple days, I don't think with Titus Hawk, they're the 6'7", 210 guy that we talked about, and then Jackson Coleman, who both committed on the 4th of May. I mean, and their rating was not affected, I don't think, in Rivals yet for some reason. I think Rivals just takes a little bit longer to get them updated. I don't know, but they did move up in 247. They went from number 7 to number 5, I think. So, big moves here for the Irish. They're going to have some big more moves on the way. But it's operation keep these guys committed, and then go get the more guys that keep the cherries on top to keep it better. And I'm sure they'll do it. The future is mighty bright there in South Bend. I can't wait to cover it along the way. We'll keep you updated with recruiting. Rest of the season, the rest of the off season here. I'm Daniel with the voice of college football, and I hope you all have a good one. Go Irish.